happens, he gets arrested. He gets to this court. He pleads on this case to supposedly take responsibility. And when given that opportunity to take responsibility to the PSI officer, instead of just saying, I chose to go there that night.
From the very first moment, tension fills the courtroom. Judge Stephanie Boyd leans forward, her eyes sharp as the defendant steps up, already on edge. The air feels heavy with expectation. This isn't the first time this man's been here. You can hear it in her tone, firm but almost disappointed. She's not just judging the crime. She's judging the choices that led here. And what do you think? Is the judge being too hard or just realistic?
All right, court is calling 2025 CR 009749, State versus Cullen Spencer O'Neill. Can I have parties annexed?
Samantha Lynn Brown for the state.
Brian Kimbrough for Mr. O'Neill.
All right, and are you Mr. O'Neill?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, according to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 8 years in the prison. The state is opposed to your applications. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report?
No, Judge.
No, Judge.
All right. State, you're opposed. Do you have any witnesses?
No witnesses, Judge.
Defense, any witnesses?
Yes, we have some witnesses, Your Honor.
All right. Call your first witness.
Before I do, Your Honor, I have some letters that I wanted to present the court on his behalf, and I did give a copy to the state, and I believe they were opposed to my doing so. So I wanted to give them an opportunity to speak to that.
All right. Any objections to the court reviewing the letters?
Yes, Judge. I'm going to oppose their hearsay. I can't cross-examine the witnesses on those statements, and I don't believe they're sworn statements either, so I'm going to object to them.
Well, Your Honor, I've produced, these have nothing to do with the incident. They're only about the character and the information about the defendant. I think it's part of the court's duty.
So with regards to whether they're hearsay or not, the court needs to review it to
As
see
the
if
defendant begins to explain himself, the excuses start to pour out. Missed check-ins, bad communication, hard times. But the judge cuts through it like glass. She's heard it all before. Her voice doesn't rise, but the weight behind every word makes the courtroom go silent. You can almost feel everyone holding their breath. And would you be able to face a judge like this and stay calm?
it is hearsay. And then if the court determines it is hearsay, then the court can always disregard. All right, with regards to the state's objections to the court reviewing the letters that have been tendered by the defense, the court understands your objections. The court is going to overrule those objections. The court will take these into consideration in sentencing.
Would you like to have a copy so they can review them?
Oh, I've reviewed it. Yes, okay. I read very fast.
Very fast. Thank you.
All right, call your first witness.
Your Honor, I would first call Tammy O'Neill. Yes.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Tammy Hollis O'Neill.
All right, counsel, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. And what is your relationship with Cullen?
Yes, I'm his mother.
And could you tell me a little bit, was Cullen raised in San Antonio?
He was raised in San Antonio, born in Japan, but came here shortly after that because his late father was in the military.
And how long?
Then comes the turning point. She calls out the contradictions. What he's saying doesn't line up with what probation records show. The truth cracks open in real time. The judge pauses, gives him a chance to correct himself, but he doubles down. That's when you see the shift in her expression, from patient to disappointed. You'd ever notice how silence in a courtroom can say more than words?
Was his father in the military?
24 years.
What branch was he in?
Air Force.
Are you also in the military?
No, sir, I'm not. I work as a civil servant, but not now because I'm furloughed.
Because the government
Yes, that is correct.
Shut down.
That is correct.
But you're the Air Force?
I do work for the Department of Defense. That's correct. Air Force. Yes, at the Air Force Civil Engineer Center.
So Cullen's father passed away 7 years ago, correct?
Yes, sir.
And
2018.
how did that, from your perspective, and was Cullen living with you at the time?
Yes, sir, he was.
And how did this affect him? The death of his father.
Hugely. It affected all of the kids, right? My daughter as well. But I think it struck Cullen much harder, right? Because of that father figure that he had in his life, and also that father figure to hold him accountable.
And how many siblings and other members of the family did he grow up with?
Yes, he has a younger sister who's not here to testify today, ma'am. One of the letters was from her. She's full-time in college and couldn't come. And then he has a stepsister as well. And
can you describe his upbringing, his childhood? Was it normal? Was it good?
Yes, sir. It was good. I would say it was good. He got everything he wanted. You know what I mean? One of those. And I did the best to raise him. With my husband.
The judge lays it all out. Missed reports, missed programs, missed chances. Each violation lands like a hammer on the table. Still, the defendant tries to reason his way out. But this isn't a negotiation, it's a reckoning. You can feel years of leniency finally reaching a limit. Do you think he still deserves another chance, or has he run out of them?
And then as a single mom after my husband passed away.
Did Cullen go to school?
He did. He graduated. He's got a diploma.
Got a diploma. He had to get a GED, right?
Yes, he did.
Yes,
he did.
He
struggled a lot in school with ADHD, and also, so he has struggled with that throughout his life since he's been little, right? Hard to concentrate, anxiety, right?
And has he been employed, generally speaking, since he got out of high school?
Yes, sir. He has. He has.
Okay. Has he always sought employment?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, has Cullen ever been convicted of anything, any crimes in his life?
No, sir. No, sir. This is so outside of his character. And I have never witnessed this type of behavior in him, which is why this is so shocking. I've had so many conversations with him, and I think he regrets what happened, right? I feel like from his personality, this is just not something he typically would have done. And I feel like that it was a mistake. He just made a poor decision, a very poor decision.
And he's always lived at home, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so you've gotten to know his friends?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And would you say...
Her tone softens for just a moment, and that's what makes it hit even harder. She reminds him of the opportunity he was given, the mercy of deferred adjudication, and how he treated it like an afterthought. You can hear it in her voice. This isn't anger. It's disappointment. A quiet kind that cuts deeper. And why do you think people only realize the value of freedom when it's gone?
Based on your knowledge and your observation, are his friendships appropriate age-wise?
Yes, sir. I've never seen anyone under legal age at my house. That's another thing I think that my daughter wrote in her letter, that even when I'm not there, she didn't witness that either as well. His relationships have always been with people of age, which is why this incident was so outside of his normal character.
And has he had friendships that were long-standing? In other words, friends that he's had for many years?
Oh, yes. He has friends that he went to kindergarten with, right? And one is here today, actually, so.
Now, you know that we're here to ask the judge to place Cullen on community supervision.
Yes, sir.
For adjudication.
Yes.
You think that he could succeed on community supervision?
Yes, sir, I do. I very much do. I think that he needs that discipline, right, of being able to check in continually. He's been on an ankle monitor for the last year and a half and has done that very successfully, right, to be able to check in and be accountable to that. I think that he can give back to society by working and doing other things while he was on probation versus if he was incarcerated.
Okay. And that's fine. Pass the witness.
All right, any questions?
Now she pivots, asking if he's ready to accept responsibility. The room is dead silent. He looks down, then up, hesitating. But she doesn't wait for long. The decision is coming. It's not about revenge, it's about accountability. Every word feels final, like the closing pages of a long story. Would you have handled it differently if you were in her place?
No questions, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
And all of them, all the groups of boys always played in the neighborhood. So I watched basically Colin grow up since kindergarten.
Okay.
And he's always showed the utmost respect and yes, ma'am. And when I had groceries, he'd be the first to come help me take them out of the car. I had him spend the night several times. And I treated him like a son of mine. So this is totally out of character.
Mm-hmm.
But
What is your son's name?
Daniel.
Daniel, and he is a friend and grew up with Colin, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is Daniel here?
Yeah.
Daniel, okay. Now, would you, if you had had any issues with Cullen as far as his influence, would you have allowed Daniel to spend time with Cullen?
I hadn't had any issues with Colin.
Right,
So,
but if you had.
Oh, of course I would.
All right, thank you so much. Call your next witness.
I'm going to call Cullen, Your Honor. Cullen O'Neill.
Can you raise your right hand?
Sir.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Cullen O'Neill.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Thank you. Cullen, you know why we're here?
Yes, I do. I made an egregious mistake one night. I had no sympathy for the situation I was in due to being under the influence of.
Finally, Judge Boyd delivers her ruling. No theatrics. No shouting. Just calm authority. She denies revocation but sets strict conditions, treatment, structure, and a warning sharper than any sentence. This is his last chance. The courtroom feels both relieved and tense, like everyone knows how thin that line really is. Do you think he'll take this second chance seriously?
Drugs and alcohol, and I made an honest young man mistake with my emotions and what I was trying to do. I made a horrible mistake. It's been haunting me, and I mean, I've had to deal with it for a year and a half that I've realized it and sat with it, and people have made fun of me. I've gone through it, but it's something that I know that's not over because I made a mistake, and I'm willing to take that on the chin. You know what I mean? You talk about football and LSU. I'm leaving it all on the field. You know what I mean? With what I'm trying to do to prove that I need a plea, but I made a mistake.
Okay. Now, the evening this happened, you had been using drugs, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you'd been drinking.
Yes, sir.
So you have an issue with drinking and with drugs.
Yes.
And you're willing to deal with that.
100%.
Okay.
To get better.
To get better. Do you have an attraction to younger women?
No, ma'am. I mean, no, sir. I've never once ever in my life. I think it was just the influence I was in, the situation of not sleeping, being tired from work, just and my emotions, my feelings as a young man just overcame me. And I know that's horrible, and I made a mistake for that.
Okay. Now, you did complete your GED, correct?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. And do you have plans and things that you want to achieve in your life?
Yes. So I was a month away from finishing college when this all happened. And
As the hearing closes, the defendant thanks the judge, his voice low, almost humbled. She nods but doesn't smile. For her, this isn't personal. It's justice, tempered with hope. And as he's escorted out, the message is clear. Redemption isn't granted. It's earned. And would you have believed him if you were the judge?
I've been held back for a year and a half to even finish college. But what I was doing in college was being a gunsmith. I get with my situation now, I might need to find a different line of work. And what I've been doing as an iron worker and doing stuff outside and building buildings like Chick-fil-A's, Walmart's, and Chase Banks and stuff around the community the best I can.
Now, you were employed with an iron, what kind of a company was it?
It was an iron company. It was Hill Country Steel. We do all the main steel around all of San Antonio, Austin, and Dallas. We do every Walmart, every Chick-fil-A, every Chase Bank, every car wash. We provide the steel.
Did you start working with them when you were in high school?
Yes, right out of high school. One of the letters I gave was from the employer that I've known since right out of high school, and he helped me a lot. And he knew about my situation through house arrest and getting my job back.
Now, you're not currently working for him, right?
No, I stopped working for him because I wanted to deal with this and didn't want to interrupt their company for my mistakes.
Okay. And are you hoping to be able to get work again?
Yes, I actually have a job interview on Thursday for another steel company that was smaller that we used to provide steel with. So that's something I'm really looking forward to start doing and working.
Tell the judge why you think you could succeed on probation.
I did track, football, and baseball all throughout high school. And I work harder than most grown men that I know.
Right on. Very cool. Very, very cool. That's cool.
And I know I messed up. And I don't want to do prison because that's just not something I know I will succeed in, unfortunately. But I know that doing the plea and being on a schedule, checking in and doing things like that will really help me a lot. Get my life back on track. I'm young. I made a horrible, horrible mistake for my age. And I know that I want to be able to recover from it and not be stuck.
Now, when this happened, understanding the situation, you do admit that you were told that the girl was 15.
Yes,
correct?
Yes,
and you also admit that when you were going to see her, it was because you were intending to have sex with her, right?
Yes, I admit to that. You know what I mean? I admit to the court to take my honesty because I made a mistake.
Yeah, but that's not something you have ever done.
Never thought about it. Never once been around it. And I have a little sister. How could I do that to her?
Okay.
You know, like that's something that I really think about a lot and being a better image for her, especially with the situation I'm in. I want to get out of this and be better for her. And she was one of the main people that wrote a letter.
Okay. Pass the witness.
State.
A couple questions.
Yes, ma'am.
You talked to probation prior to this hearing, correct? Your pre-sentencing report?
Yes, ma'am.
And
that's the story. Another tense day in Judge Boyd's courtroom, where words carry weight and second chances don't come easy. In the end, this wasn't just a legal decision. It was a life lesson about accountability and honesty.